Alex stepped into the crowded space station, his backpack heavy with clothes, tools, and a few personal gadgets. The station hummed with life, alien voices echoing through the corridors. Humans were rare here, but Alex had a mission: find a place to stay while he completed his contract as a maintenance engineer. The apartment he rented was small but cozy. The walls were metallic, with soft lights lining the edges. A kitchenette and a compact living room made it feel like home. The main reason he chose this place was simple. It was affordable and came with a roommate. When he knocked on the door, it opened silently. A figure stood there, slender, calm, and poised. She smiled politely. "You must be Alex," she said. Her voice was smooth, almost musical. "I'm Lyra, your roommate." Alex blinked. She looked human at first glance, with soft features, dark hair, and golden brown eyes. But something about her was different. Her skin shimmered faintly under the light, and her movements were almost too graceful, like she floated instead of walked. Yeah. Nice to meet you," Alex said, shifting his backpack. "I hope I'm not disturbing you." Lyra shook her head. "Not at all, come in." Inside, the apartment smelled faintly of something floral but also fresh and clean. Lyra's personal space was minimalistic. A bed tucked in the corner, a small desk, and a few books. Nothing looked alien, yet something in her presence made Alex feel curious and alert. "I hope you like quiet places," Lyra said. "I usually keep to myself." "That's fine. I don't make much noise either," Alex replied, smiling. He noticed the way she watched him, her eyes analyzing every small movement. It wasn't uncomfortable, just unusual. After Alex unpacked, he and Lyra sat in the living room. He tried to make small talk. "So, what do you do?" he asked. Lyra tilted her head slightly. "I work in research, mostly studying energy systems." "That sounds complicated," Alex said, scratching his head. "I fix things, mostly tech and machinery." Her eyes brightened slightly. "You must enjoy solving problems." "I do. There's something satisfying about fixing something broken," Alex said. "It's human, I guess." Lyra nodded, a soft smile crossing her face. "I can see that." Over the next few days, Alex noticed small oddities about Lyra. She never ate much, and what she ate looked unusual. Glowing fruits and a liquid that shimmered in her cup. She sometimes vanished for hours, returning with wet hair but no explanation. And at night, the faint glow on her skin seemed stronger, like the light itself responded to her presence. One evening, Alex caught her lifting herself off the ground slightly as she reached for a high shelf. His eyes widened. "Did you just fly?" he whispered. Lyra laughed softly. "Not exactly. I just have certain ways of moving." Alex frowned. "You're not human, are you?" She paused, her golden brown eyes meeting his. "I am from a species different from humans, but I live here now. I'm careful not to draw attention." Alex's heart raced. He had always dreamed of meeting aliens, but he never imagined he would live with one. Still, he felt calm. Lyra wasn't threatening. She seemed curious about humans, too. The next day, Alex's curiosity got the better of him. While Lyra was away, he examined the apartment. Hidden in her desk drawer, he found a small device that floated above the surface. Strange symbols rotated, slowly in the air. He touched it carefully. The device reacted, spinning faster, and then stopped. He jumped back, heart pounding. When Lyra returned, she noticed immediately. "You found my research tool," she said, calm but firm. I didn't mean to snoop," Alex said quickly. I didn't know what it was." Lyra tilted, her head studying him. "Curiosity is human, I understand. Just be careful." Her warning sent a shiver down his spine, but he also felt excitement. Living with an alien was more interesting than he had imagined. Over the next week, Alex noticed other unusual things. Lyra could climb walls silently. She understood alien machines instinctively. Sometimes her eyes glowed softly in the dark. But no matter how strange it seemed, she always smiled politely, never aggressive. One night, Alex was walking back from the station market when he saw Lyra in the distance. She moved across the rooftops effortlessly, leaping from platform to platform. Alex's jaw dropped. Humans could never do that. Yet she didn't seem powerful in a dangerous way, just graceful. He returned home, more curious than ever. Who was Lyra really? And why had she chosen to live among humans? The next morning, Lyra made breakfast, and Alex watched her closely. She cooked silently, her hands moving with precision and speed. Even the eggs seemed to cook perfectly, almost by themselves. Alex chuckled to himself. Humans can cook fast, but you're on another level. Lyra smiled softly. I try to adapt to human life. Alex realized then that her presence was a bridge between two worlds, alien and human, and he felt lucky to be the one living with her. As he left for work, he paused and looked back at the apartment. Something told him life with Lyra would be far from ordinary. He couldn't wait to see what other secrets she held. Little did he know. He was about to discover her most astonishing secret. A secret that would stun him completely. The next morning, Alex woke to the soft hum of the space station. He stretched and glanced at the living room. Lyra's side of the apartment was empty, but her glow lingered faintly in the corners, almost like a gentle light. He shook his head and smiled. Living with an alien was already strange, but exciting. He poured himself a cup of coffee and began planning his day at the maintenance bay. Later, while fixing a malfunctioning panel in the apartment's wiring, Alex noticed something odd. Lyra's personal items seemed to respond to him. Not in a dangerous way, just reactive. A small book on her shelf floated slightly when he reached for it. The symbols on the cover shifted and shimmered. He frowned. What in the universe? Then Lyra returned, carrying her glowing cup of liquid. She noticed him staring at the floating book. You're curious, aren't you? She asked, her tone calm. Alex nodded. I can't help it. Everything about you, it's different. I've never seen anything like this. Lyra placed the cup on the table. You have a human mind. You observe, analyze, and question. I like that. But some things are private. Alex lowered his gaze, feeling slightly guilty. I won't touch it again, I just want to understand you. Lyra's eyes softened. Understanding takes time. You will learn. Over the next few days, Alex kept noticing strange things about her. She seemed to understand alien technology instantly. He watched as she repaired a broken drone with just her hands and a few gestures, no tools required. Lights blinked, wires adjusted, and the drone sprang to life. Alex's jaw dropped. Wow, he whispered. How do you do that? Lyra smiled faintly. I observe patterns. Humans are good at patterns too. You will see. That evening, Alex stayed up late researching alien species. He had access to some station records, but nothing matched what he had seen. There were thousands of alien species documented in the galaxy, but Lyra's abilities didn't fit any of them. Her strength, speed, and intelligence were beyond normal alien standards. Curiosity mixed with admiration. Humans might not have powers, like her, but Alex realized something important. Humans were clever, persistent, and brave. He had survived dangerous planets, tricky machinery, and risky missions before. Maybe that was why Lyra had chosen to live with him. She recognized human potential. One night, Alex awoke to a soft noise. The apartment was silent, except for a faint humming coming from the bathroom. He frowned. Is she? He tiptoed closer, but the door was closed. The hum grew louder, almost musical, and the walls vibrated faintly. Alex pressed his ear against the door. Whatever Lyra was doing, it was unusual. He decided not to open the door. He didn't want to intrude, yet his curiosity burned. He sat, in the living room, imagining what she could be doing. Perhaps it was part of her biology, something humans could never understand. The next morning, Alex greeted Lyra. "You were up late last night. Everything okay?" Lyra smiled, a little shy. "I was cleaning. My body has special needs. You will understand one day." Alex nodded, unsure if he wanted to ask more. He had learned not to pry too much, but every odd thing about her made him more fascinated. A few days later, he discovered another oddity. Lyra left her window slightly open despite the station's atmosphere being controlled. Alex peeked outside and saw her climbing the wall of the station, effortless, silent, smooth as a shadow. Humans could never do that. When he gasped, she turned her head. "Curious again?" Alex laughed nervously. "Yes, you're like nothing I've ever seen." Lyra tilted her head. "Humans think they are weak, but your species has cleverness, creativity, and courage. That matters more than raw power." Alex felt a rush of pride. He realized that even though Lyra was stronger, faster and smarter in many ways, she admired humans too, and that made him feel special. One afternoon, Alex returned from the station market carrying supplies. Lyra was tinkering with a floating device on her desk. Symbols rotated faster than before, reacting to her gestures. She noticed him and gestured for him to come closer. "Do you want to see how it works?" she asked. Alex nodded eagerly. Lyra held the device between her fingers. The symbols shifted into shapes and patterns. Light flowed from her fingertips, and the device responded instantly, changing form and floating around them. Alex's eyes widened. How do you do that?" he asked. Lyra smiled softly. "I observe, adjust, and interact. I learn from patterns." Lying. Alex had been curious about Lyra for weeks now. Every day she surprised him with her strange abilities and mysterious habits. But he had been careful, until one evening, when curiosity got the better of him. He had just returned from a long shift at the maintenance bay, exhausted and carrying a few tools. He set them down in the living room and muttered to himself. Finally, a moment to relax. Lyra's bedroom door was closed, and he assumed she was out. He walked to the bathroom to wash up quickly. In his tired state, he forgot to knock. The door was slightly ajar. He pushed it open and froze. Lyra was in the bathtub. Water shimmered around her as if it had a life of its own. Her hair floated gently on the surface, glowing faintly. But what stunned Alex most was her form. She was no longer humanoid. Her skin glowed like liquid light, translucent in parts, revealing faint patterns that shifted and moved like living designs. Tentacle-like appendages extended gracefully from her back and shoulders, waving softly in the water. Her eyes shone brighter than ever, reflecting colors Alex had never seen before. Alex's jaw dropped. He could barely breathe. For a moment, time seemed to stop. Lyra turned her head and noticed him. For a heartbeat, her glowing form stiffened. Then she spoke, her voice a mixture of embarrassment and calm. "Alex." He swallowed hard, trying to control his shock. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." Lyra held up a delicate appendage, stopping him. "It's okay. Accidents happen." Her voice was calm, but he could sense her embarrassment. Alex's mind raced. He had read about alien species, seen images and simulations, but nothing prepared him for this. Yet strangely, he didn't feel fear. He felt awe, fascination, and respect. You're amazing," he managed to say. Lyra's glow dimmed slightly, as if blushing. "Thank you, Alex. I did not expect you to see me like this." He stepped back, giving her space. "I promise I won't look again. Wow, I never imagined." Lyra smiled faintly, water rippling around her glowing form. "I am different from humans, but you react with curiosity, not fear. That is rare." Alex nodded, feeling a mixture of relief and wonder. "I guess humans are brave like that, or maybe stubborn." He laughed nervously. Lyra tilted her head, studying him. I think humans are clever, brave, and sometimes foolish. But that makes you interesting. Alex couldn't help but grin. I like to think it's the clever and brave part. The tension eased and they both sat silently for a moment. The water shimmered, reflecting the soft lights of the bathroom. Alex realized that despite her alien form, Lyra's presence was calming. She wasn't dangerous. She was extraordinary. Finally, Lyra spoke again. I will need to explain this to you. My true form. It is natural for my species. But I hide it among humans to avoid attention. Alex nodded eagerly. I want to understand, please. Lyra's appendages moved gracefully, creating soft patterns in the water. We are bioluminescent. Our skin reacts to emotions and our environment. We can manipulate energy around us for defense and survival. It is why I can move and climb, as you have seen. But most humans cannot see or understand this. That is why I conceal it. Alex listened, fascinated. So, all those things I noticed? The floating objects, your speed, your strength, it's all part of this? Yes, Lyra said softly. You observed carefully. That is human. You notice details others ignore. It is admirable. Alex felt a surge of pride. Even though she was alien, she admired humans too. He realized then that humans didn't need superpowers to be remarkable. Curiosity, attention to detail, and empathy were strengths too, and Lyra had recognized that. For the first time, Alex felt a deep connection with her. He realized this was more than roommate curiosity. This was trust, respect, and a bond that crossed species. I promise I won't tell anyone, Alex said. Your secret is safe with me. Lyra's glow dimmed gently. Thank you, Alex. Few humans react as you do. Most would be frightened, or try to exploit me. Alex shook his head. Not me. I want to learn, to understand. And, I guess, I want to be your friend. Her glowing form pulsed softly like a gentle heartbeat. Then you have my trust. That is important. After a while, Lyra finished her bath. She shimmered less brightly as she changed back into her human-like form, covering herself modestly. Alex looked away respectfully, feeling both nervous and amazed. I think I understand a little more now, Alex said quietly. Lyra smiled. You will understand more with time. Patience is human too. It is good. That night, Alex lay in bed staring at the ceiling. His mind replayed the moment over and over. He had walked in by accident, yet nothing felt awkward or threatening. He had glimpsed something extraordinary and he felt privileged. He realized something important. Humans had curiosity, courage, and respect. Those traits could connect worlds. Lyra had shown him her true form, and he had reacted as a human should, with fascination, empathy, and openness. And that connection was only the beginning. Little did Alex know this revelation would soon lead to more discoveries, ones that would test his courage, ingenuity, and the human spirit in ways he had never imagined. For now, though, he smiled, feeling both awe and excitement. Living with Lyra was going to be far from ordinary. The morning after the accidental encounter, Alex woke with a mix of excitement and curiosity. Lyra's true form lingered in his mind, glowing softly like liquid light. He couldn't stop thinking about it, but he also felt a sense of respect. She had trusted him, and he wouldn't betray that trust. When he entered the kitchen, Lyra was already preparing breakfast. Her movements were smooth and precise, but she seemed relaxed, as if the previous night had eased some tension. Good morning, Alex said, smiling. Sleep well? Lyra glanced at him, her golden brown eyes warm. Yes, and you? Fine, Alex replied, pouring coffee. I've been thinking about last night. I want to understand you more, if you don't mind. Lyra paused for a moment, then nodded. Very well. I will tell you more, but only in ways humans can understand. My species is complex. Alex leaned forward, eager. I'll do my best. She motioned for him to sit and they began talking. Lyra explained that her people were naturally bioluminescent, and their bodies could manipulate energy in small ways. She could lift objects, climb walls, and even adjust light patterns around her. These abilities were part of her biology, not magic. Alex listened carefully, fascinated. So, all those things I saw, they're normal for your species? For some of us, Lyra said. I have trained to control them in human environments. It is easier to live unnoticed this way. Alex smiled. Humans hide parts of themselves too. We adapt. I guess we're not so different. Lyra's glow pulsed softly. Perhaps. But humans rely on curiosity, intelligence, and creativity. You notice details, ask questions, and solve problems. That is admirable. Alex felt pride swell in his chest. Even though Lyra was far more powerful, she valued human qualities. It was a reminder that humans could shine without superpowers. Over the next few days, Alex and Lyra spent more time together. He helped her adjust to human customs, how to use small appliances, how to blend in at the station market, and even how to make simple human meals. She laughed softly when she accidentally overcooked a dish or misread instructions, and Alex laughed with her. You are improving, Alex said one evening, tasting a perfectly cooked meal she had made. Lyra smiled. Your guidance is effective. Humans are practical. That is, useful. One night, Alex caught her tinkering with a small floating device again. The device hovered above her hands, symbols spinning in response to her touch. He watched silently, amazed. Do you want to try? She asked. Noticing his interest, Alex hesitated. Me? I'm not sure I could. You can learn, Lyra said simply. Humans notice patterns. That is your strength. With her guidance, Alex cautiously reached for the device. To his surprise, it responded. The symbols adjusted to his touch, spinning in new ways. Lyra watched closely, nodding when he succeeded. You see, she said. Human curiosity and patience allow you to understand things you cannot yet fully control. That is powerful. Alex grinned. I guess humans are stronger than we think, just in a different way. Lyra's glow pulsed warmly. Yes, you are capable of things even you may not realize. Over time, Alex began to notice subtle things about Lyra. She would occasionally glance at the stars, her eyes distant, almost longing. He asked gently one evening, Do you miss your homeworld? Lyra nodded. Sometimes. But I chose this. Life. Humans. Your species intrigues me. I wanted to learn from you, to see what makes humans special. Alex felt a sense of honor. Humans had faced countless challenges, adapted to impossible environments, and survived through intelligence and courage. Lyra recognized those qualities, and that made him proud. Their bond grew stronger. They shared meals, studied alien devices, and even explored sections of the space station together. Alex learned to anticipate her movements, understand her expressions, and respect her boundaries. Lyra, in turn, began to show him small flashes of her abilities, lifting small objects without touching them, bending light subtly, and moving faster than humanly possible. One evening, as they sat together in the living room, Lyra spoke quietly. I will tell you a story about my people. It may help you understand why I am here among humans. Alex leaned forward, eager. I want to hear it. Lyra explained that her species valued observation and learning. They traveled to other worlds to study civilizations, understand cultures, and Alex was fixing a broken power conduit in the apartment when the space station's alarm system blared suddenly. Red lights flashed across the metallic walls, and an urgent voice echoed through the corridors. Security breach in Sector 7. All personnel take cover. Alex froze. He knew Sector 7 was close to the docking bays where rare cargo and visiting ships were kept. He glanced at Lyra, who had been quietly observing him from across the room. Her eyes glowed faintly, and she looked tense. What's happening? Alex asked. Lyra's voice was calm but serious. Hostile aliens have boarded the station. They are looking for someone, likely me. We must be careful. Alex's heart pounded, but he didn't panic. Humans were known for thinking quickly under pressure, and this was one of those moments. Okay, what do we do? Lyra moved to the window and peered outside. They are armed, but they do not know this layout. We can use that to our advantage. Alex nodded. He felt a surge of determination. Even though Lyra had powers far beyond his own, he realized that his human intuition and cleverness could make a difference. Follow me, he said. I know a shortcut through the maintenance tunnels. Lyra followed, gliding effortlessly beside him. Alex led her through narrow passages, ducking under pipes and squeezing through vents. His knowledge of the station's structure gave them an edge, allowing them to avoid the first wave of hostile aliens. But they couldn't hide forever. Soon, the aliens spotted them. They were tall, armored, and clearly dangerous. Their weapons glowed with energy, ready to fire. Alex whispered, "We need a plan." Lyra nodded. "I can fight, but humans have creativity. Perhaps you can think of a way to slow them down." Alex scanned the surroundings. He noticed a maintenance drone hanging from a ceiling rail. A thought struck him. "I can use that," he said. He grabbed a nearby control panel and hacked it quickly, rerouting power to the drone. The small machine activated and floated toward the approaching aliens, spinning and releasing sparks. The aliens paused, momentarily distracted by the unexpected obstacle. Lyra took advantage, moving swiftly and using her energy manipulation to disarm a few of them. Her appendages glowed, extending and deflecting attacks, while Alex continued to create distractions with the environment. "Keep them off balance," he shouted. Together they worked as a team. Alex's human ingenuity complemented Lyra's powers perfectly. He rerouted lights to blind their attackers temporarily, used moving crates to block pathways, and even created a small electrical burst to force the aliens back. Lyra moved with grace and precision, her glowing form intimidating the intruders. She wasn't reckless, every move was calculated. Alex, meanwhile, relied on quick thinking and adaptability. Humans might not have her raw abilities, but they had problem-solving skills that even advanced aliens found impressive. After several tense minutes, the intruders were cornered in a large storage room. Lyra's glow intensified, a warning sign to the aliens that she was ready to defend herself. Alex stood beside her, holding a small energy disruptor he had managed to salvage from the station's supplies. "You ready?" he asked. Lyra nodded. "Yes." Together, with precise timing, they acted. Lyra unleashed a controlled wave of energy that immobilized the aliens temporarily. Alex activated the disruptor, causing their weapons to malfunction. The intruders, confused and outmatched by the combination of human ingenuity and alien power, retreated quickly, seeking escape. The station's security forces arrived shortly after, rounding up the remaining intruders. Alex and Lyra watched silently as the situation was contained. "That was intense," Alex said, breathing heavily. "I didn't think we could do it." Lyra's glow softened, returning to a calm, gentle light. "You were invaluable. Your quick thinking, your ability to adapt, your observation skills, all of it helped. Humans are remarkable." Alex felt a surge of pride. He realized that bravery, intelligence, and creativity could be as powerful as any physical ability. Humans might not glow or manipulate energy, but they could survive, adapt, and even protect those more powerful than themselves. Lyra stepped closer. "I have seen many species. Few are capable of what you just did. I am grateful you are here." Alex smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest. "I'm just glad we made it through together." That night they sat in the living room, exhausted, but safe. The station's emergency systems had quieted, and the corridors were calm once more. "I think I understand now," Alex said quietly. "You trust humans because we can think on our feet, even in dangerous situations. Even when we don't have powers, We have brains and courage. Lyra's glow pulsed softly. Yes, that is why I stay here. Humans may be small and fragile in appearance, but their spirit is strong. That is admirable. Alex felt humbled and inspired. Living with Lyra was teaching him more than he expected, not just about aliens, but about himself and humanity. Humans could be clever, brave, and resilient. And that strength could shine even in the darkest and most dangerous moments. As they prepared for sleep, Alex realized that life with Lyra would never be ordinary. The universe was full of surprises, and with her guidance and trust, he felt ready for anything. Little did he know, the final challenge was yet to come, one that would test not just their abilities, but their bond and the very limits of human courage and ingenuity. The space station was quiet again, but Alex could feel a tension in the air. Even though the immediate danger was gone, he knew the universe was full of challenges. Lyra had faced hostile aliens before, and this station was a hub for travelers from all corners of the galaxy. That morning, Alex found Lyra at the window, gazing at the stars. Her golden brown eyes reflected the distant lights of countless planets and ships. He hesitated, not wanting to disturb her thoughts, but she spoke before he could leave. "Alex," she said softly, "you have done more than survive. You have proven that humans are capable in ways even I did not fully understand." Alex smiled, rubbing the back of his neck. "I just tried to help. You were the one with the powers, but you trusted me to think fast. That counts for something, right?" Lyra's glow pulsed gently like a heartbeat. "It counts for everything. Your courage, your quick thinking, your empathy. These are qualities my species admires. Humans may appear fragile, but your spirit is strong." Alex felt warmth spread through his chest. He had never thought of humans that way before. All his life, people had underestimated them, saying humans were limited, weak, or ordinary. But living with Lyra proved otherwise. "Thanks," he said quietly. "I guess humans can surprise even the strongest aliens." Lyra smiled. "Yes, and I have learned from you as well. From your perspective, your ideas, your patience, and your persistence. That is why I stay among humans, Alex. To understand, to learn, and to grow." The day passed quietly. Alex and Lyra worked together around the apartment, repairing minor station malfunctions and organizing supplies. Their teamwork was seamless now. He had learned to anticipate her moves, and she had learned to trust his instincts. That evening, a notification flashed on the station monitor. A new batch of travelers was arriving from a nearby system. Most were humans, but a few aliens came as well. Lyra glanced at the screen. "They are curious," she said. "They will notice me and perhaps question why I live here. We must be cautious." Alex nodded. "We can handle it. Together." When the visitors arrived, some did glance at Lyra, with curiosity. But Alex's presence and calm guidance made everything smoother. He introduced Lyra casually, explaining her background in a way that humans could relate to without revealing her full form. She remained modest, but her subtle powers were enough to impress those who watched closely. One of the visitors, a young engineer, whispered to Alex, "She's amazing. How does she do all these things?" Alex smiled. "You'll have to ask her yourself. But I can tell you this, she values humans more than you might realize. There's a lot we can learn from each other." Lyra noticed the conversation and gave Alex a small nod of appreciation. Her trust in him had grown deeper. She knew he could represent humans well, even among strangers. Later, Alex and Lyra sat together on the apartment balcony, looking out at the station and the stars beyond. The sky was alive with movement, ships of all shapes and sizes gliding silently, carrying travelers, traders, and adventurers. "You've changed my life," Lyra said quietly. "Not just by trusting me, but by showing me the strength of humans. I will not forget this." Alex laughed softly. "And you've changed mine. I never thought living with an alien would be like this. Amazing, inspiring, and exciting. You make me want to do better, learn more, and maybe even explore beyond." What I thought was possible. Lyra's glow shimmered warmly. That is the human spirit I admire. You adapt, you persist, and you face challenges without fear. That is rare in the galaxy. Alex looked at her, feeling a bond stronger than words could describe. I'm glad we found each other, Lyra, and I promise we'll face whatever comes next together. Lyra extended one of her delicate appendages, resting it gently on his hand. Together, she confirmed. For the first time, Alex felt a deep sense of belonging. He wasn't just a human living on a station among strangers. He was part of a partnership, a friendship that crossed species and boundaries. He realized that humans could not only survive, they could thrive, inspire, and even earn the trust and admiration of beings far stronger than themselves.